July 1518, the city of Strasbourg. A woman steps out of her house into the summer heat and begins to dance. There is no music. There is no festival. Her face shows no joy. Witnesses say it showed nothing at all. She dances through the morning, through the afternoon, through the night. She is still dancing 6 days later. By the end of the week, more than 30 people have joined her. By the end of the month, nearly 400. Some of them will dance until their hearts stop. This is not a legend. City records, sermons, and physicians' notes all describe the same impossible event. So what force makes an entire town dance itself to death? To understand what happened, you need to understand what Strasbourg was in 1518, because this city was already dying slowly, long before anyone started to dance. The harvests had failed. Bread prices had climbed beyond what ordinary families could pay. The previous year, 1517, was so brutal that locals called it the bad year. Then came the diseases, smallpox, leprosy, and a terrifying newcomer from across the sea, syphilis, which medicine could neither explain nor cure. And above all of it hung something modern minds struggle to feel: absolute religious dread. To the people of Strasbourg, misfortune wasn't bad luck. It was punishment. And one saint in particular was believed to punish sinners in a very specific way. Saint Vitus cursed people to dance. The woman who started it is remembered as Frau Trophäa. Within a single week, 34 people were dancing alongside her. Men, women, even children. They begged for help. Many wept as they danced. They could not stop. The city council turned to the physicians of Strasbourg. Their diagnosis, recorded at the time: hot blood, an imbalance in the brain. And their prescription may be the deadliest medical advice ever given. The cure for the dancing, they said, was more dancing. The authorities didn't just allow the dancing, they organized it. Guild halls were opened. A wooden stage was built beside the horse market. Musicians were hired to play louder and faster, and strong men were paid to hold the dancers upright when their bodies tried to collapse. The city of Strasbourg, with the best intentions, had built a machine for spreading the plague it was trying to cure. Under the summer sun, the numbers exploded. Chronicles from the following decades claim that at the epidemic's height, up to 400 people were dancing at once, and that during the worst stretch, the plague was killing as many as 15 people a day. Historians still debate those exact numbers, but the city's own records leave no doubt about the deaths themselves: strokes, heart attacks, and pure mechanical exhaustion. Imagine the sound of it: pipes and drums that never stop, hundreds of feet on stone, day and night. Neighbors watching from windows, knowing that the curse chooses its victims one by one, and that yesterday's spectator was often today's dancer. By late August, the city reversed course completely. The music was banned. Public dancing was outlawed. The penalty? A heavy fine. Gambling houses and brothels were closed to appease God's anger. Strasbourg stopped treating the plague as a disease and started treating it as a curse. The remaining dancers were loaded onto wagons and taken into the mountains, to a shrine of Saint Vitus near Saverne. There, priests placed small red shoes on their feet, sprinkled with holy water, and led them in prayer around a wooden figure of the saint. And then, the strangest part of this entire story: it worked. Within weeks, the dancing faded. By September, the plague of 1518 was over. So what was it? For decades, the leading suspect was a fungus, ergot, a mold that grows on damp rye, produces compounds chemically related to LSD. Poisoned bread could cause convulsions and hallucinations. There's just one problem. Ergot poisoning also cuts off blood flow to the limbs. Its victims could barely walk. Dancing for days would have been physically impossible. The explanation most historians now accept is stranger, because the cause wasn't in the bread. It was in the mind. Mass psychogenic illness, real involuntary physical symptoms spreading through a population under extreme stress, through belief itself. The people of Strasbourg were starving, grieving, and terrified of a saint whose punishment was dancing. When one woman broke, the belief did the rest. Which is also why the red shoes in the shrine worked. The curse was made of belief, so belief is what broke it. The dancing plague of 1518 wasn't the first of its kind, and it wasn't the last. Outbreaks like it flare through history whenever fear, faith, and exhaustion press hard enough on a community. The dancers of Strasbourg weren't cursed by a saint. They were broken by their world and healed by a story. Which raises a question worth sitting with. What stories are strong enough to break us? There are more stories like this one, stranger, darker, older. This is Hollow Ages. Subscribe and stay in the dark with us.